Good evening, everybody. So we are going to spend some time together. Let's make it an event, joyful event. Let's be relaxed, first of all. We don't need to be tense. It's an occasion to be happy, not to be on the thorns, you know. Because I see some faces here which seem quite tense. So let's relax. Let's enjoy the moment. Let's enjoy the event and see what happens. Maybe it's going to be nice. Maybe it's not going to be nice. But let it happen. And then at the end we say or we feel how it has been. So, as this dear one said, my story is a very long story on the spiritual quest and spiritual practice. And what I talk about is not so much what I have read in books, although I've read a lot of books also, but it's very much part of my own experience. To me, knowledge has two aspects, or two levels. One is the intellectual one, and one is the experiential one. So we might be very good pundits, know a lot about scriptures, holy scriptures, philosophies, doctrines, theologies, but never had a spiritual experience. So what counts here is our own personal experience. On a spiritual path, it's not so much believing into something, as I always say, it's experiencing something. So believing to begin with is good, but eventually we have to become that something in which we believe. Otherwise the belief is for nothing. So, my life and my message, it's a message of trying to experience something. It's not so much believing to something. So for this we need to do a spiritual practice. We need to be initiated by a perfect living master into a path, get a spiritual transmission, and then from that start building up. Initiation is like a seed that is put into us. Then we have to cultivate it. We have to let it grow through dedication, discipline, attention, practice. And that's how we become something. That's why we become somebody who has a personal inner experience of what he talks about. And it's not just mentioned in books like Gita, the Vedas, the Quran, the Bible, whatever. That's good, but it's not enough. That's good to begin with. My master used to say, to be born in a religion is very good. To die in a religion is not so good. So we need to become the teachings. We have to manifest those teachings in our life. Otherwise it's again a belief. Belief which is not our experience. We just keep mentioning, quoting from this and that, but what's our experience about it? So that's been my life. Trying to experience something, trying to make my own these teachings. Even when I met my master, he gave me teachings of some kind, but later on. In the beginning, I didn't understand anything of what he talked about. Because I went to India, I didn't speak any English. So I met this master, and there was not, verbal communication, because I didn't understand any English. But I was so caught spiritually, I was so awakened spiritually, that I didn't need any words. I didn't need any philosophy. I didn't need any doctrine. I just needed to practice and go within and experience for myself was reality. So, a spiritual life that we live is worthwhile if we come to realize what those teachings are telling us. Otherwise, again, no use, or very little use. We need to be transformed from human into the divine. And to be divine, we need to manifest the divine light within ourselves. That's what makes us divine. It's not so much, again, other teachings, intellectual. It's a spiritual experience. So anyway, in my practice, the bhajan singing is a very important topic. It's a very important part. So in these many years which I'm practicing, which is almost 50 now, actually it's 50, 1972, 2022, it's 50 years. The bhajan singing has been a very important part of my practice. And I've learned so many, because my Satgurus, they were very good bhajan writers, both of them. So from both of them I learned quite some, a few hundreds. So to begin with, I'm going to sing a few bhajans. Try to catch the wave, catch the vibe, as they say, and enjoy it. Then it will make easier to understand anything else. Because the real understanding doesn't come from the intellect, but it comes from connecting with the wave of divine energy, divine presence. Then we understand. Otherwise, again, splitting the air. So I began singing bhajan by Kabir Sahib. I think any Indian knows who is Kabir, at least should know. Anywhere you go, at least in northern India, even farmers, you find knowing Kabir Sahib's bhajans. So this is Guru Samana Idata, one of his very famous songs. Please enjoy it. Jag mein Guru Saman nahi data, jag mein Guru Saman nahi data, vastu agochar de Satguru ne, vastu agochar de Satguru ne, bali batai bata, jag mein Guru Saman nahi data, jag mein Guru Saman nahi data, काम क्रोध कई दे कर राखे, काम क्रोध कई दे कर राखे, लोभ कोलीनो नाथा, जग में गुरु समान नाई दाता, जग में Guru Saman nahi data, kal kare so hale kar le, kal kare so hale kar le, चौरासी में जाए परोगे, चौरासी में जाए परोगे, फिर बुग्ध दिन और रात जग में गुरु समान नहीं दाता, जग में गुरु समान नहीं दाता। शब्द पुकार पुकार कहते, शब्द पुकार पुकार कहते, कर ले संतान साथा जग में गुरु समान नहीं दाता, जग में गुरु समान नहीं दाता। सुमारे बंदगी कार साहेब की, सुमारे बंदगी कार साहेब की, कल निभाए माता जग में गुरु समान नहीं दाता, जग में गुरु समान नहीं दाता। काहे कबीर सुनो ए दारमन, काहे कबीर सुनो ए दारमन, मानो बचाने हमारा जग में गुरु समान नहीं दाता, जग में गुरु समान नहीं दाता। पारे दा कोल मिलो सतगुरु से, पारे दा कोल मिलो सतगुरु से, आओ लोक दियारा जग में गुरु समान नहीं दाता, जग में गुरु समान नहीं दाता। Satguru is the greatest giver. He gives what's invisible. That's what the song says. Lust and anger have been in prison. Greed is also under control. What you want to do tomorrow, do it today. Later on, you might not have this chance. The Shabbat proclaims with a loud voice, have the company of the saints. Then the car will bow down in front of you. Kabir says, O Dharman, listen, obey my words, open the curtain and come into the divine kingdom. So that's the invitation we always get from the great masters, to open the curtain of illusion, of Maya, as they say in India, and see reality. See the truth with your own eyes. So I'm going to sing another one by Guru Arjan of the Sikh tradition. Saaz saaze simro gobind mane anta mane antara ki tere chint pure guru ka sune upadesh pure guru ka sune upadesh para brahmani katkare pek para brahmani katkare pek saz saze simro gobind mane antara ki tere chint apenit tiagotarang apenit tiagotarang sante janaki durmane mang sante janaki durmane mang saze saze simro gobind mane antara ki tere chint ape chore benedicaro ape chore benedicaro sade sange agan sagare taro sade sange agan sagare taro saz saze simro gobind mane antara ki tere chint saz saze simro gobind mane antara ki tere chint ardon ke pare leo bandare ardon ke pare leo bandare nanak guru pure namaskar nanak guru pure namaskar saz saze simro gobind mane antara ki tere chint saz saze simro gobind mane antara ki tere chint. So the song says, to repeat the name of Govind with all your breath, so that the anxiety of your mind may vanish, may go away. The other day I was saying that there are people who say, I don't believe in any God, I don't believe in anything. But I say, you believe that you have a mind, don't you? Of course, we all have a mind. We all have a whirling something into our head which never ends. So do you want to have a quiet mind, or do you want to have a restless mind? Doesn't matter if you believe in God or not believe in God. But do you want to be agitated, or do you want to be at peace? So here Guru Arjan says, repeat the name of Govind if you want to have peace of mind. So that's spiritual practice. That's turning the attention from the outer world, the thoughts about past and future, worries of life, anxieties, to the divine presence. God is here now. and God is in the now. So if we stay in the now, then we experience God. If you're all the time wondering about what happened and what is going to happen, that means we are never in God's presence, because God is just here now. And we can find Him only in the now. So if you're able to hold our attention well focused in what we are doing, whatever we are doing, everything is adoration, everything is worship. But that's our problem. We are always elsewhere. We are never here and now. So that's the challenge for all of us human beings. Whether we believe into a religion, we belong to a religion or another. Whether we believe in God or we don't believe in God. That's the predicament of us human beings. Trying to be well focused, well aware of what's happening now. Live the living present. Then your life will become meaningful, will become very profound. You will be very inspired. You will be very uplifted. And you will be kind of enlightened. All the people who experience enlightenment, they have experienced it going very deep in the here and now. My master, when he began his meditation sittings, he used to say, God is here now, just be here, then you will find Him. But we just follow the mind. We just follow the waves of the mind. And we keep wandering everywhere. We are in a place with our body and with our mind. We are elsewhere. So like this, we never get to it. We have to make a conscious effort. We have to live a very disciplined life. We have to do a spiritual practice with all of our being. Then we get to it. Then the inner door opens. And we experience something transcendental, something divine, which transforms our life. That's the only way to transform our life. It's not so much through reading books, through believing this and that. Only if we have this wave of light flooding our being, then we will change. Otherwise, we don't have the strength to change. We are not capable. All the people in history and even nowadays who have changed, transformed their life, they've done it because they were able to come in touch with this divine light, this divine presence. So first of all, we have to want it above everything else. Ask, and it shall be given unto you. If you don't ask, nothing is given to you. So it starts from us, it begins from us. We have to want it above everything else. God is the most precious thing in the whole creation. He doesn't give Himself or herself, take it the way you want, itself so freely. Only to those who really give their life for it. Only to those who really want it above everything else. Like the man who is suffocating underwater and wants the oxygen. If you want God with the same intensity, then we have it. Paramahansa Ramakrishna used to say, mad, that's the word. If you become mad in the love of God, then you will realize Him. Otherwise, no. So I sing you another song, okay? Again, I think by Guru Arjan, if I'm not mistaken. Darshan dekh jiva guru tera puran karma hoye prabhu mera. Darshan dekh jiva guru tera puran karma hoye prabhu mera.
Namaskar
अपने चेहरे देना करे अपने चेहरे दर्शन देख जीवा गुरु तेरा पुराण कर्मा होए प्रभु मेरा दर्शन देख जीवा गुरु तेरा पुराण कर्मा होए प्रभु मेरा अपनी शरण रखो प्रभु दाते अपनी शरण रखो प्रभु दाते गुरु प्रसाद कीने गिरले जाते गुरु प्रसाद कीने गिरले जाते दर्शन देख जीवा गुरु तेरा पुराण कर्मा होए प्रभु मेरा दर्शन देख जीवा गुरु तेरा पुराण कर्मा होए प्रभु मेरा सुनो बिनो प्रभु मेरे मीता सुनो बिनो प्रभु मेरे मीता चरण कमल वास मेरे चीता चरण कमल वास मेरे चीता दर्शन देख जीवा गुरु तेरा पुराण कर्मा होए प्रभु मेरा दर्शन देख जीवा गुरु तेरा पुराण कर्मा होए प्रभु मेरा नानक एक करे अरदास नानक एक करे अरदास विसर नाई पूरन गुणे दास विसर नाई पूरन गुणे दास दर्शन देख जीवा गुरु तेरा पुराण कर्मा होए प्रभु मेरा दर्शन देख जीवा गुरु तेरा पुराण कर्मा होए प्रभु मेरा दर्शन देख जीवा गुरु तेरा पुराण कर्मा होए प्रभु मेरा So this song says, when I see my Guru, I feel alive. I believe my best destiny has been accomplished. So again, what is this spiritual battle about? It's about love. It's falling in love with somebody. You fall in love with God, that's very good. Or you may fall in love with a God-man, or with both of them. In India they say, it's by the grace of God that you meet the Guru. And it's by the grace of the Guru that you meet God. So the two things go very much together. One goes along with the other. Without one, the other one is not there, it's not possible. So only if one has the good luck to meet a perfect living master and tune in with his holy presence, recognize that one as such, then it's possible to meet God. Otherwise, not simply. So it was for me. I was very lucky. I went to India. I was looking for truth because in 1 year before going to India, in 1972, I had a very wonderful spiritual awakening, just a spontaneous experience, in which I really touched what is truth. That's how I can say it. I can express it in several ways, but that's what it was. I really saw life for the first time as real, as true. I really saw the essence of it. But then keeping such experience, that's the problem. It stays with you for a while, and then it withdraws. But once you have such a spiritual awakening, then you want to have it always. You will give your life for it. It's like those people who have a near-death experience. Their life is changed completely. They say, anybody who's had a near-death experience will tell you, by that experience, my life has been changed completely. So, a spiritual awakening is the same thing. Once you have it, you would like to have it always. You would like to have that uplifted consciousness, that divine outlook all the time. But it doesn't stay with us for long, unfortunately. So that's how began my spiritual quest, my spiritual practice. And that whole year of 1972, I did a lot of yoga, meditation, all kind of possible exercises to bring back their experience. I came close to it, but never the same. So I decided to go to India. So in 1973, I took a long trip. People find it like, let's say, too much of a duty to go listen to a lecture next door to somebody. But I went over to India, 9,000 kilometers. I used to live in Milan, in Italy. So via land, I went to India like that. But all this, my effort was really rewarded, because after a few days I was in India. I was given the address of this Sankirpal Singh. I went to him, and this trip really transformed my life. The spiritual perception which I had when I reached that ashram, it was just amazing. I reached the place, and I was so uplifted. I thought, am I still on this planet, or am I on some other planet? I looked up at the sky, and I saw like a dome of light covering the whole place. So I thought, my God, what is this? What's happening to me? So when I met this master, I saw him just wrapped in a halo of light. And I really didn't see a man. I saw a God man, really. So I thought, those were the thoughts that came into my mind. My quest is over. I found my path, I found my guru. So, now it's 50 years since that happened, 49 years. And this is still with me, this awareness, that that's my path, that's my guru. And this was a falling in love with a God man. And this love is what really makes these spiritual practice possible, appealing, pleasant, uplifting. If there is no love, if there is not this falling in love, then spiritual practice is quite dry for most of the people. It's a hard something to do. But once you fall in love, and this inner perception opens for you, then you see the meditation, and 3-4 hours may go, you're not even aware of it. That's how it was for me. After meeting this master, I could sit for hours, fully absorbed within, losing track of time, not knowing what was happening. So this falling in love and this recognizing, tuning in with a holy man is very important on the spiritual path. That's what makes it possible to do all the spiritual practices that you need to do in order to realize the divine. So anybody who wants to endeavor, who wants to try and experience something, that's the very first prerequisite, to find the master, recognize him, tune in, fall in love, and then go on with your practice. That will be possible. Okay. So to end up now, I would like to sing some few typical Hindu mantras. I've been an Ayurvedic therapist for many years of my life, And this mantra singing was very much a part of the therapy I was doing. So I want to honor this temple by these Sanskrit mantras to end it. Asatoma sadgamaya tamasoma jyoti gamaya mrityurma amrita gamaya 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 mrityurma amrita gamaya. Sarve sukhina bhavantu sarve santu niramaya sarve sukhina bhavantu sarve santu niramaya sarve bhadrani pashyantu manashi dukbhak bhave sarve bhadrani pashyantu manashi dukbhak bhave sarve sukhina bhavantu sarve santu niramaya sarve sukhina bhavantu sarve santu niramaya sarve bhadrani pashyantu manashi dukbhak bhave sarve bhadrani pashyantu manashi dukbhak bhave om bhurvasva tatsaviturvarenyam om bhurvasva tatsaviturvarenyam bhargo devasya dhimai dhiyo yo na prachodayat bhargo devasya dhimai dhiyo yo na prachodayat om bhurvasva tatsaviturvarenyam om bhurvasva tatsaviturvarenyam